something support wise, Daisy's there, but that's because she's her manager. Like, I think Gabby's really not a fan of Ashley. So sometimes does it go to the extent of like the friend of my enemy is my enemy? You know what I mean? And I don't think Gabby seems Daisy as an enemy, but she sees her, you know, giving support to Ashley. So I think maybe it's a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's really an enemy type of thing, but that's how I allude it.
Yeah, I think I said earlier in the season that I think Daisy likes Ashley more than Gabby, like early on,
Yeah.
but maybe just like friendship wise, like maybe they connect a little bit more. But as far as like work wise, like Daisy's a great boss. She's super nice to both of those girls.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, the end of last week's episode, she tells both of them, like, hey, you guys gotta like cool it on the drink, like drinking so hard on our nights off because someone's gonna get hurt or fired.
Yeah.
And like she wasn't like really throwing anyone's job. She was just like, hey, kind of abstractly.
Kind of laying down the law, you know, basically
Yeah.
like warnings, right? Warnings are a good thing to give to your employees if it's like for their own benefit, right?
Yeah.
Like she's not doing this to just kind of like show she's in charge. She's like, listen, you girls need to kind of just be adults about this. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's so like weird because I feel like a lot of people on this boat, like especially since Tom's gone, I do feel like this boat matured in a really like big way where like, let's say Ashley wasn't on this boat is filled with like pretty much adults.
Yeah.
Right. Like I almost hope somebody else comes in that's young because then it just won't be like Ashley against like 5 adults.
Yeah. I'm excited for whoever the deckhand is.
It sounds like it's gonna be a guy.
All the girls be so pissed. Yeah. Yeah, because it's Gary and Gary and Colin and Marcos. And Marcos is single. That's a whole nother thing though.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
Gary's the only option for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure if Gabby goes home next week. Not to like bury the lead here or anything, but I don't know. She's acting very peculiar.
She is. I think it's one of these things. She's just really unhappy, and it's kind of tough to like. It's tough to work in an environment where if you're unhappy, you're literally with your coworkers 24/7. And Marcos even kind of alludes to that in the episode here. He's basically like, you know, you have to treat your coworkers on boats a little bit different than elsewhere because elsewhere you go home. Here, like you're having dinner with those people tomorrow. So it's a little tough environment, but you know, I think Daisy does give Gabby, she kind of pumps up Gabby's tires a little bit, you know, at the end saying, hey, I think you're doing a great job, this and that. Just saying, you know, you've been a great stew for me this season, but yeah, there's some character differences and you got to either work past those or figure out what's best for you. So I hope she stays. I know next episode looks ridiculous. And so like, it's going to be I don't think we're going to get a lot of charter guest time if you know what I mean.
We will. That was a great moment between Gabby and Daisy. Yeah. That's why, I mean, I guess that she said she can't get her in Daisy before that little meeting between the two of them at the end of the episode. Yeah. So I get it a little bit more, I guess, but Daisy's just a nice boss. Yeah, I don't know. But I think we mentioned last week, Gabby's a perfectionist too. If you make a mistake, if you're a perfectionist, sometimes like don't get over it fast.
Yeah, man. You just kind of like, you can just like spiral. You should be not a perfectionist. I know, I'm just kidding. Not everybody could choose it. So Sean, anything else on, I guess the only thing I was thinking about on this episode was like Gary, obviously he hurts his hand and then like he's trying to fix something with Kelsey and he kind of takes it out on her a little bit. The runner. Yeah. So the rudder. Yeah. I don't know. He tries to take it out on Kelsey and I think Kelsey was like really realistic. She's like, yeah, Gary hurt his hand. He's frustrated, this and that. I'm just going to take it, whatever. And then sure enough, later in the episode, being a pretty good boss that I think Gary is, he basically goes to her and he's like, hey, sorry about before. I was frustrated. I think that's the difference between like, it's okay to get frustrated. And, I'm not saying it's good to like lash out, but when it happens, you have to just kind of like admit to it and be like, hey, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try to do better going forward. And so everyone hating on Gary, I think he's a really good manager.
Oh yeah. And their shifts are 12 to 12.
Yeah, dude.
So that sucks. That's 12 hours. How does that violate maritime law?
No, wait, hold on. 12 hours. They're working like 24 hours, these guys. There's only two of them.
Right, but I think Gary, he mentions to Kelsey, like, all right, our shifts will be 12 to 12.
Right.
But yeah, then sometimes they're up at the same time.
Exactly. There's a ton of overlap. I don't think Gary's sleeping, man. I didn't see him sleep once this episode.
Yeah, actually 12 hours off on charter is pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, man. Because what else are you gonna do?
You can go to bed for 8 hours and then have like 4 hours to hang out.
Watch 2 movies. Like,
damn, yeah. That's actually, that doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, no, you can't stay mad at Kelsey either.
No, because I think she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
So Sean, do you want to talk about the guests a little bit here? I got a couple things about them.
Okay. Give me your first impressions.
Okay, they were nice people. And if you're just like nice, normal people on the show, you're barely going to get shown. You'll get shown putting on makeup or putting something on and actually having dinner. But like, I feel like if I were on charter, that's how much I would want to be shown. Just a normal person. You're not making a fuss. You're not this. You're not that. Good people, left a good tip, 20 grand. That ended up being $2,500, which for 3 hard days, I don't think that's bad. 800 bucks a day with no real expenses. It's not bad.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Not having Tom there, tips are just getting bigger. I don't remember these guest names.
Yeah,
I apologize to our audience for that, but
yeah, there was one. I don't know. There's a blonde lady, but like at the end of the day, like it's not about the guests, right? It's about the people on the show. So it's about the crew and their interactions with the guests, but it's watching people actually work while having this like, once every 3 days. That gets wild, and that's kind of the difference between Below Deck and other shows.
Oh yeah. Really, this season the only guests, Chuck and Erica, were the only ones where like they kind of took over the show by being awful. But hey, when you got a really entertaining, awesome crew, the guests don't need a. One of them was a vegan, and John, my fiance who studied abroad in Chile, told me that being a vegan isn't really a thing in South America.
Interesting.
Like they, if you're in like a big city in America, there's lots of vegetarian and vegan restaurants like all over the place.
Sure.
South America, I'm probably generalizing here, but not really a thing. Like that's
no. Well, it's like one of those things. It's like, listen, I don't know science, but like I've always heard kind of like it's the cleanest countries that tend to have. Wait, now I'm saying that other countries aren't clean. I don't know, man. I maybe it's just because we're more like we have more options here. I don't know. Yeah. Like maybe we just have more options, I guess. Like you can be vegan here. Like, I don't know if you could be vegan in, other countries. I don't know how it is, but like, I think it's odd when somebody becomes vegan and then like for breakfast, they order like vegan sausage and vegan scrambled eggs. Cause that's what this person ordered, or had
vegan, like the chicken. Well,
it's tofu mostly. Yeah. I don't know, man.
The vegan fried chicken weirded me out.
Like, listen, I know nothing about it. You know little. I'm not gonna say you know nothing. You probably know as much as I do. I it's it's maybe that person does have high cholesterol or something, right? And so they have to have a vegan diet. That makes a ton of sense. And I bet they got really, really good vegan food.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, credit to Marcos,
Yeah.
being a South American chef, doing such a great job. But he did work in West Hollywood for a long time, so
Yeah.
I think there you go.
Yeah.
You picked it up in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And yeah, low cholesterol, man. That's what life's about nowadays, right?
Mm.
So, I, what I remember one of the guests also, she said, "Do you know dolphins are aliens?" I don't know if you caught that, but
I
one of the charter guests
Yes.
said, "Yeah." She goes, "Dolphins are," or she's like, "Dolphins are aliens. Look it up." I'll tell you this: I didn't look it up, but dolphins aren't aliens. So I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I guess I've said dumber things when I was drinking, but
Yeah, I know there's like a lot of kids are saying that birds aren't real. That is like it's the government spying on us.
fair. Yeah, I've been thinking about that for years too. Yeah.
There's That's all.
I think she meant to say dolphins are mammals, but maybe I'm giving her too much credit. Maybe she meant
Mm,
aliens.
a lot of dude. There are so many conspiracy theories now about
Yeah.
everything. I don't think the Jeffrey Epstein thing helped. That being a real kind of that gave everyone that galvanized all the other conspiracy theorists. They're like,
Sean,
hey,
I will say you had a conspiracy theory about Below Deck Legacy last season. You thought that there was a extra deckhand on
yep,
board that was never on camera. So that's the Below Deck conspiracy theory that we have latest, right?
yeah, because they always show like the first officer and like the chief engineer.
Yeah.
Where are those guys? Is that conspiracy? That's a real thing.
Right. Those are
I thought,
those are people. Yeah.
but because Eddie was the first officer last season, I thought, hey, where they're missing a deckhand, this doesn't add up. And
Yeah.
I got no proof of it yet, but we'll see.
You're working on it. You're working on it.
I'm researching. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get like the B-roll and like the unedited clips from the last season.
Yeah.
Man.
So Sean, in this episode, a couple of things happen. So they do, I don't know if they actually make it to the beach, but I'm just going to remind everybody, if you're on a sailing yacht for 3 days, you don't have to go to the beach.
You don't. No.
You're on one of the nicest sailing vessels you'll ever be on. Go to the beach any Tuesday. You don't have to get off that boat. That's just a reminder. You can go swimming and kayaking or whatever. That's great, but you don't have to go back on land. You're renting the boat.
Yeah,
So
people need to touch sand.
yeah, it's like getting a nice hotel room in Vegas, because you're like, when you're in Vegas, you're in your hotel room for like 4 hours, right?
Yeah, I feel
Five,
like
5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is. But like, it's nice to get a big hotel. It's nice, and like, it's nice to get a nice hotel room, but it's probably, in other cities, I want actual nice ones because I might be in there more, right?
yeah, dude, I feel like all hotel rooms look the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of my opinion. I've never been like a really nice one like in the movies. I don't
Yeah.
really like I've stayed in like nice hotels, but the rooms to me all like some have nicer like bathrooms, I guess. That's really all I remember.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. All right, and then I think that's all I got, man.
Well,
What do you got?
Glenn Sailing.
Oh, that was like 80% Glenn wanted to sail and 20% like the people wanted to sail, right?
Yeah, he's really into being a fun dad, right?
Yeah. The other thing is though, I guess if you go on a sailing yacht for like 3 days, you have to like, I'm sure it's not part of the contract, but like, imagine going on a sailing yacht for 3 days and then them not sailing.
Yeah,
Like,
he wanted to get the sailing in,
you had to.
and he knew smartly he brings it up in front of the guests. And like, Daisy, can we sail? Like right in
Oh
front of them.
yeah.
And she's like, yeah, okay. Like hands are tied kind of because then the guests really want to sail. And I love how upset Daisy got. Like, she
Well,
was-
because she was basically like, we can sail in that period of time, but it's not going